guys? Welcome to another episode of Youngnaires podcast. And if you're a youngin and you're struggling,
it's time to get to hustling.
You feel me? Okay, so we are your hosts. I am Nadia Holt. I am 21 years old.
I'm Soleil Holt. I'm 16 years old.
And we are UGC creators and micro-influencers based in Atlanta, Georgia.
ATO.
Now, this whole podcast is based on educating and encouraging our future younginaires on the importance of entrepreneurship and living a more self-fulfilling life. Now, I know what y'all are thinking already. What is a younginaire?
Let me answer.
For those who don't know, tell the people.
Let me say it. A youngnaire is just a young entrepreneur who has a millionaire mindset.
Absolutely.
Keep it simple.
Sweet and simple.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. Now, here on Youngnaires, we're only having the coldest, the smartest, the best people, and I've been waiting for this one for a very long time. I'm very, very, very excited. Tell the people who we have.
Today, we have a 21-year-old options trader who is making six figures. The one, the only, Ashon Bennett. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being. I love them all black, very sweet, very subtle.
I like the green too. Should have came in green.
We should have sent out a color palette. But the first question. So where are you from and what is your business?
So I'm from Fort Washington, Maryland, but I was originally born in Fairfax, Virginia. My business is I trade options in the stock market, and I teach young entrepreneurs and just regular people how to make options trading simple, how they can make thousands of dollars a day trading.
I love that. Now, for what's the most simplified version of the definition of options trading? Like options trading for dummies. What is that?
So options trading typically happens in the stock market. So you're probably wondering what's the difference between a stock and what's the difference between an option? So a stock would be just like we all know. Do you have an iPhone?
Absolutely.
Well, then we know Apple. Apple is the company, right? So Apple stock will, if I say, oh, what is the stock? Stock would be Apple, right? The actual company itself is the stock, right? But when it comes to options, options is basically saying, hey, I'm not going to buy the iPhone specifically, right? I'm going to put a down payment down. Let's just say $200, right? To buy, let's just say, I don't know, 100 shares of Apple's company. So I don't buy it outright for myself, but I'm basically borrowing it. It's basically like, hey mom, can I borrow 100 shares of Apple real quick? I'll pay you back. I promise. I'll pay you back. That's basically what options is. It's basically saying I have the option to pay this back at a later date, and hopefully if it goes up in value, I make a lot of money. If it doesn't, then I lose money too. That's what options is.
Okay, gotcha. Now, would you consider options trading a risky business for somebody who is coming into entrepreneurship, not knowing anything about entrepreneurship? Would you encourage them to start this this route? What do you think on that?
Options trading is risky. I just want to say that out there. I mean, but that's the beauty of it too, because when there's risk, there's reward.
Of course.
You can make a lot of money with it, but there is risk to it. And it's not about necessarily being risky. It's about how do you manage your risk, because everything in life to a certain extent is risky. Going into certain neighborhoods and stuff like that, it's risky, but do you carry yourself with a security guard with you, or are you in a protected vehicle or something like that? There's certain factors you can basically apply to your life that makes it less risky.
To limit that risk.
I always recommend options trading. It's a beautiful thing because it's definitely changed my life. It's definitely taught me how to rewire how I think about everything when it comes to life, when it comes to money, when it comes to making money. So I definitely recommend it. Even though it is risky, I definitely recommend it.
So how did you get into options trading? What drew you?
That's actually an interesting question. So when I started when I was 17, I was 17 turning 18, and I had just recently gone through a situation with a female. I'm not going to get too much into it. But it was one of the friends that I had, and that kind of made me realize that I was focusing on everything outside of me instead of what's inside. So I was focusing on the wrong things. And then I kind of pivoted, and I kind of got into a place where I was kind of upset. It was some things that happened, and I kind of put myself, I just kind of locked myself in my room, and I started to figure out what do I want to do with my life. And then at first it was just, it was college, just going to go to college. And then when I asked myself, what do I want to go to college for? I was like, I want to go to college for business. Then I thought about do I want to go to college for business and learn from people who don't have a business?
Right.
And I was like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not piecing together.
It's not piecing together. Like 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 in this situation. So I basically kind of pivoted and I went on YouTube University. That was the college that I went to.
Yes, that's where we are certified as well. YouTube University,
yes.
Love it.
Prestigious university. And I went through all their curriculars. I went through just everything. I just started learning about real estate. It was e-commerce. I just went through everything like type of entrepreneurial journey I could think of, and I just tried testing stuff out. So the first thing I did was wholesaling real estate.
How did that go?
That was, I got a story. So I was basically, if you guys don't know what wholesaling real estate is, it's basically when you basically find somebody that wants to sell their property, and then you find somebody who wants to buy the property for a much higher price. So let's just say somebody's willing to sell, let's say a property for $100,000. Somebody wants to buy it for $120, right? I'll just give it to them for, let's just say $110, and I'll make that $10,000 difference basically. That's what wholesaling is. So what I was going to do is I was calling people that were trying to sell their property. I got one person, got them under contract, all that. And then I was trying to find a buyer to actually buy the property, right? So I was 17, I had a squeaky voice, you know what I'm saying? And I was on the phone with people, and there was one guy that I found, he was going to close the deal for me. And he found out how old I was. He could tell just based on my age. And I guess he figured out how much I was going to make, and he kind of undercut me on the deal, and I didn't make any money. So he went past me to go find the seller, and I basically didn't make any money. So I was like, dang. Age, I need to find something where age doesn't matter, basically. Then I got into drop shipping. That didn't really work because I realized I need to figure out how to market, and I didn't really understand that. So I was like, well, what do I do now? So the next thing I tried was options. So I started learning about the stock market, learning about what is a stock, learning about options, learning about the best way to make money in it. And I was studying that for about a month or two. That's when I started getting into it, close to like November, December, and I started studying it during then. And then I told my parents, I don't want you to give me shoes, no clothes, nothing for Christmas. I just need a course a course, mentorship, something on
That's what
stocks.
I wanted to hear.
And and they listened, thank God. And they basically gave me a course. It was Wall Street Trapper. It wasn't even options trading. It was just stocks, teaching me how to invest in stocks and stuff like that. On Christmas Day, I went through it on Christmas Day. So right after I got it, I went to my room, just started going through it, literally till like 1 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. Just completed the whole thing. Then I just started all right, I'm gonna get into this. So I made my first options trade 4 days after Christmas. So it was December 29th. That's when I made my first trade. I had a little bit of Christmas money and then money that I won from a business competition. And I was like $500. So put the $500 in my trading account. 4 days I had studied, figured out how to use my platform, how to buy an option, all that stuff. It took me 4 days. It wasn't crazy. 4 days. I picked the stock that I wanted to trade. I placed it's called a swing trade, which is basically why you place a trade, but you hold it longer than a day. So the trade that I held was about a month. But I ended up selling it 2 weeks in. So I had bought it, waited 2 weeks later. It was on my birthday, actually. And I sold it on my birthday. So my birthday is January 10th, 2003.
Okay.
So, Capricorn, Gen Z. But I sold it on my birthday. I wasn't even, I think my birthday was the day before. I wasn't even excited on my birthday. I don't care. I just care about this auction. Once the market opens Monday, I'm just going to sell it. So market opened. And I bought it for $500 and I sold it for $2,000 2 weeks later. And I was like, I don't think you understand how excited I was.
That's really dope.
I was ecstatic. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
That's crazy because a lot of people who have $500 would go blow it on.
Of course they would. They would go get the Jordans. They would go get something.
Sneakers. At that age, definitely
not thinking about.
That's the whole purpose of this podcast is to give people that. That is so dope, man.
Chick-fil-A is good, but it's cheap. It's not cheap.
It's not.
It stacks up.
It stacks up. I love that. One thing I wanted to ask was, might be a little personal.
It's all good.
Here. What's the most amount that you've made in one trade? I guess.
In one trade. Options trading is just a beautiful thing. Options trading has allowed me to have the ability to make, I'm just going to say 5 figures in a day.
Wait a minute! Wait!
Options trading is giving me the ability to make, I don't want to say the specific number, but. Yeah.
Right, you can give me a ballpark, but the ballpark is.
It's not a lot. It was only like 10 to 11. It wasn't a lot.
That's not a lot.
No.
That's a lot for somebody who.
It wasn't a lot.
Who's 19, right? That's crazy. I need a cheers on that real quick. Let's just, this is a
little ding.
We're not gonna say
right
what's
here.
inside
No,
of it.
I got my Bel Air in my cup. Y'all know I already got my Bel Air. The children have juice, so don't come for me. Once the children come of age, they will be on the Bel Air train as well.
Give me 2 years.
A little longer. So, do you trade by yourself, or is there like a group that people can join?
At first, I was trading with kind of other people. So there was other traders that I actually started networking with and stuff like that. That kind of taught me the ropes of trading. And then eventually I got to a point where I just said I'm going to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
And become independent, because I couldn't teach other people how to be independent if I wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like a dependent adult that's trying to show you how to be independent. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you're not even.
Right.
So I wanted to basically put myself in that predicament where I kind of had to force myself to figure it out. Like I ended up, because I was at my dad's house when I came down and moved to Atlanta. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to get my own place. All this stuff, and just take care of all this stuff on my own. I kind of put myself in that predicament to not only figure it out, but also like dedicate myself to learning it and like making something happen.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Realistically, what would you say? Because I know on YouTube, you go on YouTube, somebody be like, "Oh, you only need $10 to start options trading, and you'll be a millionaire tomorrow." We're not doing that. We're not gatekeeping anything. We're gonna let y'all know, real uncut. So, how much does someone like honestly need in their bank account to start options trading?
Well, to start. Well, as long as you can buy options, you can start technically. Like, I've had friends that start with like $26. Like, I started with $500. Like, it just depends on, like, obviously the less money you have, the harder it's going to be.
To grow your account.
Yeah, to grow your account. I recommend if you're like trying to day trade or like trying to trade within a day. So like if it's Monday, you trade on Monday. I recommend you have like 500 to 1,000. That's typically what I recommend.
500 to 1,000.
Yeah.
And that's doable because there are a lot of people who do have, their 9-to-5 jobs, especially us right now. Like, but what are you spending it on?
Right. Like, what are you spending it on? You have the money. Like,
you have the money. You have the money somewhere. You're spending it on something.
And especially if you're young too, there's no reason. Like, I believe if you're young.
We ain't got no kids.
There's no reason. You don't have no kids, no bills. I have bills now, and I'm like, I got stuff like. I don't know how much I spend a month. Like $4,000 to $5,000 a month just goes to bills and stuff. Like, I'm like, this is crazy. Why did I mean, sometimes think about like, why did I move? Like, why did I have to do all this stuff?
That little question.
I could take that money and do something else with it. But
for a little bit.
I have stuff to pay for now. But like, if you're really young and you're starting out, like you said, you're 16. What I would give to go back to 16 with this information, I could just like, it's a beautiful thing because like. You just have a lot, like, you don't have any bills. You have nothing holding you back. If you lose, like, think about it. If you were 16, and let's just say your mom gave you like $100,000, something like that, right? And you just put into an option trading account. Let's say you lost 10K, something like that, right? You lost 10K in a day. The worst thing that's going to happen is you lost 10K. You're going to have a roof over your head. You can drive wherever you want. You can eat. Food gonna be on the table. You don't got no kids. I hope no kids, no nothing.
Exactly.
Like there's nothing holding you back except learning and going through those losses is gonna help you grow.
For real. And one thing about entrepreneurship in general is like most of the time, the first thing that you try, the second or third thing that you try is not gonna work.
It really won't.
It really will not. It's probably gonna be the fourth or fifth or sixth thing that you stumble across that'll actually be like your golden ticket. So try to get those like trial sessions out while you don't have any real responsibilities. Like it's a lot better for you to get it out in your 20s right now, and then not when you're 30 years old and you have a wife, you have a kid to feed, and now you can't really dedicate as much time as you need to learn your craft. Like I feel like this everybody has like this conception that you're supposed to party in your 20s.
Yes,
like
you're
supposed to be partying, you're supposed to be going to the club, you're supposed to be doing all this extra stuff. Like, no. And then you try to figure out your life.
Then you try to figure no.
Like, no, that is not, like, you're working backwards. Do it when you don't have anything to do. Do it right now. Do it while your parents are still paying for your shit.
Literally. Like, they're funding your dream. Like, literally take the money.
Right now.
Even if you have to, like, there's so many ways to make money in school. Like, I believe if you're under the age of, well, if you're in your 20s or a lot younger, there's no reason you shouldn't be making 6 figures. There's no reason. Like, it's no reason you shouldn't be making at least 6 figures, like at least 5 figures a month, at least. Because there's no reason, like, matter of fact, let me ask you guys, okay, what's something that comes easy to you and harder for others? Like, you can do it, but I can't.
Probably creating content in general.
Okay, creating content. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're good at creating content, but I'm not. Okay. Let's just say you can create content so you can help other people create content.
Yes.
So let's just say you can create content for other people, and let's just say you create content for them. They're already an entrepreneur. They're already making money. They just don't know how to create content. They don't know how to appeal for people like us, right? So you show them the way. You show them the lingo. You show them how to create content. And let's just say you charge them, let's just say to manage and teach them how to do it, you charge them like $1,000 a month, something like that, just to run their social media, just to show them how to do the content, just to get with them maybe once, twice a month, just to record videos, right? That's $1,000 a month, and you can do that. Let's just say you find 10 entrepreneurs. We're in Atlanta, so it's like thousands of entrepreneurs. Thousands.
So many entrepreneurs here.
At least every single entrepreneur needs content. Every single entrepreneur needs to get exposed. They need marketing. They need advertising, and they need to appeal to people like us or people just. In general, they have to appeal to people, and you help them do that. So now, if you can charge $1,000 a month and you can show 10 people how to do it, but it only takes maybe 4 hours out of your time or something like that, you can make an easy $10K a month just off of showing people. Most people we want, especially in our generation, like we want things super quick, super fast, like fast money, fast everything, but we don't want to do the hard things to get it.
Right.
But then we complain, like if everybody could get a six pack, if everybody could get big muscles, if everybody could get a lot of money, it wouldn't be valuable. Everybody would have it, and it wouldn't be valuable anymore. No, like a Lambo is only cool because not everybody has a Lambo, and not everybody can afford it. But if everybody could afford it, it's like.
It's just another
car.
I don't care. Fine, I'll get something better. But you're always gonna look for the next thing because everybody has it.
Yeah.
We want to be different.
Exactly. You can get the Lambo. I'm just telling you got to do different
stuff.
Have to
do
you
different
can't work and just be at McDonald's and go to McDonald's from 9 to 5, come back home and sleep for the rest of the time and think that you're getting a Lambo. I'm letting you know right now, it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
You're not gonna happen.
You can run around in your Buick.
Buick. Wow.
I didn't even know you knew that car.
They didn't know that.
I just thought of the first lame car I thought.
Wow. Buick is so upset with us right now.
Yo, no, for real. Sorry.
Sorry, Buick owners.
Sorry, Buick.
You look cool in your car. What is your day-to-day study plan look like for when you're learning?
So when I wake up, well, I try to get my mind right first. So I have this thing. I get my body right, my mind right, and my space right.
Yeah.
So when I wake up, I make my bed. I take a cold shower because I like to wake myself up.
It's
really good.
Like the entire time though?
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the thing. So this is what I do. Doing a cold shower outright that's lame. You have to make it hot first, and then you turn it extremely cold, and then you feel that change, and then you sit in it as long as you possibly can.
I do it for like 10 seconds.
10 seconds? Oh yeah. Okay. You gotta do it a little long. Well, actually, it does feel. I've done that too when I was first started out. But what I'll do is I'll do it for 10. Like I've done the 10-second thing, and I just increase it by 10. So 10 seconds this day, 20, 30, 40.
I could probably do like 20, 30.
And what do you feel like the difference is? Like what do you like get from the cold showers?
It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable, but it makes you okay with being uncomfortable.
I love that.
And it also wakes you up too. Like it wakes your body up. It wakes you up.
That.
It makes you more cognizant. Because if you're relaxed, like think about it. If you're in a hot shower, you're just comfortable. You're relaxed. It's like bliss. But like you also get relaxed, and you're not really ready for action. You're not really ready for doing anything. Because the market is a war. Like there's people that have hundreds of millions of dollars that are literally waking up, and their goal is to take your money. They not chilling. They not just.
Yeah, yeah.
Made $1 million today. Like they ready, like they're focused and they're alert. So I'll take a cold shower, then I'll just eat some food, and then from there I also clean up my space. So I'll take I'll set a time for like 10 to 15 minutes and just clean up my room. Typically it's already clean, so I don't even have to do that long. So I kind of just give myself extra time. Yeah. But I clean up my room, clean up my space, and then when I get to my computer, when I look around, everything's clean. I'm clean. I smell good. I feel good. I'm eating, and I'm awake, and then that's when I get on the chart. And I'll pull up the stock, whatever stock that I'm gonna trade. Typically I trade, it's called SPY or QQQ. And then I also trade some other big name companies like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Apple. You know, I just trade those companies, but I'll basically just look at those charts and I'll basically just start analyze. I'll use my strategy. I'll start analyzing, all right, where's the price at? Where's the market at? And then from there, I'll determine whether or not I want to buy or if I want to sell. Like, and those people are like, well, it's so hard to determine whether or not you should buy or sell. And I'm like, you already know how to trade. Like, y'all two know how to trade right now. Like, y'all already know how to do it. Y'all probably like, I don't know how to trade.
No, I've dabbled a little bit in Forex. In Forex before, so I know, you know, buy, sell, like buy, you know, buy low and then sell high or something like that.
But it's about understanding where, like, determining the value of something. So, like, for example, if I ask you guys, would you buy a MacBook for $10,000? Would you do it?
No, I think I passed on.
You pass on that. Why?
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot. It's too much, but you understand there's overvalue, and it should be $2,000. Yeah. But it's at $10,000. Like, I wouldn't buy it, but I would sell it. I would sell it for $10,000 and buy it for $2,000.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh.
You already know how to trade.
Love that.
The same way you apply it for just shopping and stuff like that. Like if you go into Louis Vuitton, if you see, let's just say they have a jacket on sale, and first off they have something on sale. They never have something on sale.
Right.
If that's something on sale, and let's just say a jacket that would cost $5,000 is $500. You're like, you're not gonna think, I wouldn't buy that. That's too expensive. You're gonna think, wait, that's cheap. Let me buy that and then sell it for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. But you understand based on the brand, based on the stock, based on the company, what the value of this thing should be.
Right.
So if you apply that with the stock market, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's so dope.
Yeah, that's a very simple way of putting it.
Yeah. Yes. I want to be able to actually like put some type of like, you know, thing out there where people will actually be able to learn how to start doing options trading. So where would you suggest them to go to start getting into that?
Actually, it's so funny because I see people, they charge for all this information and stuff like that. Like they'll like, oh, you gotta pay $10,000 for this and $25,000. Like I know people that do that. Like I've even paid people that. Like spent, like I haven't spent that much, like $50,000 to $60,000 on just information and courses, mentorships, masterminds and stuff like that. But I think they should know it for free. Like they already know how to do it. It's just they need to, like, I want to give people information for free that can make them money. So I put money in their pocket. So if they want to pay me, they can. Yeah. Like I show them how to make $1,000.
I see what
and then they pay me.
Okay,
so
cool.
I actually have it's so funny because I actually do every week I do a free masterclass where I teach people how to actually trade for free. Like you don't have to pay anything.
Y'all hear that? Yeah. Did you hear him?
I hope you did.
Let them know where they can find you.
Yes, so you can find me pretty much on any social media platform at CEO Ashon. And yeah, you just look me up. No one's name is Sean, so I mean that's the only person. No underscore, no dot, no nothing. But I teach it for free.
So if y'all are interested in options trading,
go follow this man.
Go follow him. Like he's giving out sauce for free.
For free. If I can put money in your pocket for free, you can pay me.
Absolutely. In your opinion, what makes a great options trader, and what traits does someone acquire to become an options trader? So
that's actually a really good question. There's certain characteristics you need to have. You need to have discipline. You need to have patience. You need to have acceptance of the market, and you also have to be repetitive. So you have to do the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. So like discipline, I mean, it's just doing the things you know you're supposed to do and just getting it done. Like if you know you're supposed to do chores, just do it.
Just do it.
Just get it done.
Stop thinking about it. Just do it.
Like y'all know. We're young. We already know. If our parents give us a list of chores and we do the chores, are they gonna yell at us? Are they gonna get mad at us?
They ain't gonna say nothing.
I wish I knew that. See, I wish I had that information when I was growing up. I didn't have that information. I'm telling you guys now, it's a cheat code. If they give you something to do, just do it. You won't get in trouble. You won't get on punishment. That's a hack. Most kids don't know that. You won't get in trouble. You won't get money taken. You won't get your phone taken. You won't get your TV, video game, nothing. If you just do what you're supposed to do.
Just do it.
Discipline. If you learn that early, that's how you can learn how to make a lot of money, because you can be disciplined with. If you can't be disciplined with chores, you can't be disciplined with your plan, your trading plan.
Right.
You just can't. If you can't even do like vacuum, how do you expect to? All right, cool. When price comes into the zone, I'll make sure to buy here. Or once price is cheap, I want to buy here. Right. Like you can't even do simple stuff.
Right.
Much less
pick up your clothes off the floor.
Pick up your clothes. And then I think the biggest thing is that I actually had to learn too is acceptance. Like when you trading is gambling. Like trading is essentially gambling. You're buying something or selling something, but you don't know the outcome. You're gambling. But I like to put it in this framework so people can really understand it. You can either be the person that gambles or the casino.
Right.
So here's the thing: the casino gambles too, because they don't know if you're gonna win or lose. They can't break everything. They can't predict everything for every single place. Yeah. So they're gambling too.
Right.
But they always profit every single year, and you wonder why? Because they have structure, and they base every single gamble off of a probability. So after, let's say, out of 1,000 gambles, they know they're going to win X amount of times based on their strategy or their approach, or based on their machines, based on what they have. So they know how much they're going to win. You go in there, oh, bet I made 20K. You know what? I'm going to put this whole 20K into this. I can turn it into 80K. And I can then, so you start thinking with emotions instead of probabilities or logic. So as a trader, you'll lose if you trade from an emotional standpoint or not from a logical standpoint of, if I do this, I will get this result, and I have to be okay with it. Like if you lose, you have to be okay with it. If you win, you have to be okay with it too.
Right.
And most people, they want to win. Like if I ask you guys, would you love, if you made $1 million in a day, how would you feel?
Fabulous.
Amazing. But if I said, oh, if you lost $100,000 today, like in an hour, how would you feel?
Terrible. It's giving
no. It's giving no.
It's giving I'm locking my account right now to make sure that doesn't happen.
And that's what happens to most traders, because like they love winning, but they don't like losing. Yeah. That's why they can't. If you can't lose, then you can't win.
Yeah. You have to accept.
You're not going to win every battle. That's what life is. You're not going to. If everybody were to win every single battle, there would be no hardship. There would be no struggle. There would be no poverty. There would be no there's no bad things in the world, but there are bad things. So it's just about it would be very boring.
Balance.
That's basic.
Yes. Balance, baby.
And yang.
Yes.
Balance, baby, balance.
But you have to accept the losses and accept the wins. So if you're fine with winning this much, you have to find an area where you're comfortable losing that amount too. Yeah. So if you know that the max you're comfortable losing is, I'm only comfortable losing $100. That's fine. Yeah. But if you're comfortable making 1,000, but you're comfortable only losing 1,000, then that's your risk to reward. My max that I'm going to risk is 100. The max that I can make on this trade is 1,000. Yeah. And then I just take that same trade over and over and over again. And you're good.
And make it happen. Love that. Love that. Beautifully said. Absolutely. Now with that, I think it might be pie time. Pie time.
I think it's pie time.
That was good.
That actually, I like that.
We actually harmonized with that one.
I was about to say, okay.
Crystal, bring out the pie.
Little soul sister action going on.
Love this, love this. As we know, we have pie time. Pie right here.
This is good.
We are going to get into some pie, and the last piece of the entrepreneurship pie, which is just us giving, the Youngnaires some extra sauce. People who are not really in options trading right now, but just some encouragement, some words of motivation for them. Yeah. And let's get into it.
So what advice would you give to somebody still working a 9 to 5 who's on the edge?
That's a good question. If you're working a 9 to 5, use that to fuel your options trading journey. So for example, you have a 9 to 5, right? And I tell people this all the time. If you have a break, instead of getting on your phone, instead of just doing that, trade. Like use the money that you got and try to trade during that time. If you get off at, let's just say you're in California or something like that. The market in California is open from 6 in the morning to 1 p.m. Right? Yeah. If your job is 9 to 5, 6 to 9, you have time to trade. So if you wake up, get yourself together, get yourself ready early, and then from there you trade, and then you go to your work and your job. And you take that money, you pay whatever bills you got to pay for, take the rest of that money, put it into your trading account, and just learn it. Or at least invest in yourself and getting the information. Once you get the information, it's just repetition. It's just practice. Like it's going to be about time until you make money.
Yeah, I love that. I love how most of the time when we ask that question, it's kind of the same. It's just invest in yourself.
Just invest in yourself.
Nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. Love that. I love that.
So next question: how do you recover after a bad day?
That's actually a good question. That's a really good question.
Good questions only.
Dang. how do you recover after a bad day?
What do you do? You watch another podcast. You watch Youngnaires. Do you?
I actually do. It calms my nerves. But what I do is typically, I just kind of get, again, the acceptance thing. Like, okay, I lost 7,000 today. It's cool. Like, move on. Like, just change my mindset.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I've lost 7,000 a day. It's been, that day was interesting because I lost. It was on my screen, and I'm just sitting there like, you would think, oh, he would be crying, he would be running around. I'm just sitting there like, dang, I lost 7,000. But I kind of thought like, okay, well, I actually had 7,000 to lose.
Right.
So let's keep going. Let's keep going. But typically, I like to meditate. I need to stop doing this, but I like going out to eat, get some food or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I like to just drive around. Just self-care, yeah. Self-care. And now sometimes drive around Atlanta, just to get away from the screen and just get, to the scenery and stuff like that. I like driving on the main highway that has the buildings and stuff.
I thought it was just me.
No, it's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
At night, especially, you gotta put the windows down. Well, not now, because
it's freezing. But I know what you mean.
Windows
the summer
up.
vibe, it was everything.
You just put the windows down, you drive through, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and you just drive through Atlanta. Playlist on Drake. Yeah. You got Drake playing, and you just going through the city. But like, you gotta, like, if you gotta detach from the charts. Like, it's not even about like, oh, I'm getting on a chart, I'm trading. Like, trading is not everything. You trade and then you go about your day. You don't just focus on and dwell on your losses, dwell on your wins. That's not how it works. Because if people in the casino are like, oh my God, I lost 10,000 a day. What do we do? They don't think. They go back home to their wives. They chill, and then they come back the next day like back to business.
Right.
Like, that's just how it is. They don't trip about it.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
What do you think is most challenging about entrepreneurship?
The most challenging thing about entrepreneurship is worrying about everybody else instead of worrying about yourself. Like, everybody just, like, and obviously, like, especially that's another thing too. It's so funny because all of us are young entrepreneurs, and I feel like we're hardwired as children to focus on what other people want for us in terms of like adults, like our parents, our moms, our uncles, our families. Like, they want things for us, and as a child, we're like, oh, we want to make you proud, so we'll do this for you. Right. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, you can't care necessarily about what other people want for you and think, because you have to make decisions for yourself. So that's going to be a big pivot, because you have to realize, like, okay, even if my mom wants me to do this, I kind of got to do this. Is the best thing for my business. This is the best thing for me. So I kind of got to pivot and make those decisions for myself. Yeah. So most people, they're so focused on social media. Like, that's another thing too. If you're a trader, please delete Instagram, delete TikTok, delete it all. Because what you're going to do is you're going to go on Instagram. The first thing, this is so crazy because now when I go on Instagram, this is the first thing I see. Everybody's posting their profit. Yeah. Everybody's posting how much they're making. But I tell people all the time, Instagram is a highlight reel. They're just going to show you what you want to see. They're going to show you the good stuff. And you're never going to feel like, if everybody was posting losses, you would be like, oh, I lost too. Like, that's fine. But everybody's posting wins. It's like, dang, I should be winning, but that's not how it is. Like, walk your journey. But in order for you to walk your journey, like, and it's so funny because my dad told me this, and a couple other people told me this too. If it doesn't inspire you, disconnect. Like, if it doesn't inspire you, you have to disconnect from it. So if they're not like, if you watch them, even if they're your friend, even if they're like family member, even if whatever it is, if you can't look at them on their social media or look them in the face and they don't inspire you to do more, you kind of got to disconnect, take that step back from them. Like, there's certain people I had to unfollow. Love them from a distance. Because if you're not inspiring me, you're holding me back. Yes. And you're making me jealous. It's not you, but it's me. It's not you. It's me. It's what I got. Okay. It's what I got going on.
It's what I got going on, the dreams that I got going on that you don't fit in right now. So I need to detach. I love that.
I'll circle back to you once I'm
up there, maybe I'll let you come back around.
You can't afford to be jealous or envious in this game, because like, if you're like, think about it, if you're watching somebody else, they're watching the finish line. So if y'all running a race and you're constantly looking to the side, you don't even know how far you got to go. They're just focused on winning. So you're focused on somebody else winning. That's how, if you're watching the NBA, you're focused on somebody else winning. If you're watching football, you're watching somebody else winning. You're watching somebody else live your dreams when you could be focusing on your own.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what keeps people so stagnant, is that they're like, immediately, because they think that tomorrow I'll be able to, I'm going to be just as good as Ashon. I'm going to be able to make 6 figs in 2 days. That's going to be me. Like, that's not it. And comparison is the thief.
A thief of joy.
Of joy. Like, stop worrying about other people and just start making steps towards your own business. Like, I love that. That's a word. Yes. That's a word
Indeed.
for the day.
Write that down.
Write that down. Put it on a t-shirt somewhere.
What are your daily habits for success, or like a morning routine?
Yeah, so like I said, cold showers, meditating, and also just giving gratitude to myself. Like, because I think that's another thing as young entrepreneurs, we don't give each other grace. Like, we don't give ourselves grace because we'll look at other people and stuff like that, or we think we should be farther, or like we're young. We have all the, because you might be hearing me like, oh, he's like, oh, I should be making right now. But like, you still gotta give yourself grace. Like, if you just started, be like, because at the end of the day, because we're starting young, we're ahead of everybody else. Yeah. If you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, there's entrepreneurs that are that old and they're older than us by like 10, 12, 20 years. Yeah. But we have time. So even if we mess up for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we're still going to be ahead. That's the crazy. This is the time to mess up. Yeah. Like, you have to, like, when you mess up, get happy. Like, get excited because like, all right, cool. I got 10 more, 100 more mess ups before I win. I got 1,000 more trades to fail before I hit like $1 million trade or $100,000 trade, $10,000 trade, whatever it is. But keep consistent at it, and then just give yourself grace. Yeah,
and another thing I want to add to that is, I just don't want to hear nobody be like, oh, I watched one YouTube video and I bought one course and this options trading thing is not working for me. I don't want to hear that.
Facts.
He uses Christmas money.
Right. Yeah, that's why I love being like 19, because it's like I have adults coming to me like, oh, this is not possible. Right. And then I make my favorite thing to do. I make things so simple that you kind of feel dumb. Like, for example, somebody said, oh, courses are a scam, masterminds are a scam, and stuff like that. And they said, like, if something's $2,000 or $1,000, it has to be a scam. And I said, all right, cool. So if you gave me $1 and I gave you $10 back, right? Who scammed who? And you're like, I scammed you because I gave you $1 and you gave me 10 back. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So if you give me 100 and I give you 1,000 back, who scammed who? And you're like, well, I scammed you again because I gave you 100, you gave me 1,000 back, I made $900 profit off of you. Right. Now I said, all right, cool. If you give me $1,000 for a course and I give you $10,000 worth of value back, who scammed who? Right. Then they quiet because they don't think about it like that. They don't think about it from that perspective.
10,000 worth of value. See, that's the thing right there. The value is because when you don't have the knowledge to be able to even go forward, you can't go nowhere. And that's where I feel like people are just, oh, courses are not worth it, not worth it. Yes, it is.
It is.
This literally the blueprint right there. But people don't want to do that because they go through the course. It done took them a whole week to go through the course or whatever, but then they still have to implement the stuff that they learned in the course. And that's the problem, that they don't get the results, and then they say it don't work.
Yeah. You know who Jay-Z is? I'm messing with you. No. I'm messing with you. You know who Jay-Z is.
You know who Jay-Z is.
You know. But even Jay-Z said in the song, he was like, we know the price of everything but the value of nothing. So we know how much how much it costs. How much does it cost? Right. But not the value of how much it actually get out of you. Yeah. But if we saw value, we would act completely different.
Yeah, I love that.
That is very true.
Love that.
Okay, so I think our last question is very important.
Okay.
Very serious.
Who do you think is better, Drake or J. Cole?
Why y'all had to do that to me?
They gonna come for you too, right, so I need you to answer correctly.
I need you to give it some thought, and then truthful answers.
This is the hardest question.
I'm gonna sit my bell on that one.
This is the hardest question y'all asked me all day.
I'm so sorry. I know I had to do it to you. I'm so sorry.
See, I got y'all on the options, but like this, dang. And I know my child best for watching this too. He gonna be mad. I got it.
You said better. Why.
You said better.
Yes, better.
You gotta say why.
I gotta say Drake.
Drake.
The reason I say Drake, because I feel like lyrically, like in terms of lyrical ability, J. Cole all day. But Drake in terms of versatility, in terms of he can do Caribbean, he can do he can be foreign, he can be he can do trap, he can do hip hop, he can do R&B, he can appeal to every single audience. Like he can talk
that is true.
He hits a lot of different genres and a lot of different groups in different ways. And also, I just vibe with Drake too. Like in terms of like who he is as a person, like I vibe with Drake too. So
cool.
that was kind of hard because I like J. Cole lyrically.
Yeah, J. Cole be spitting.
He's spitting like that's what I'm saying. That was hard because I'm like, yo, he be dropping like
crazy
more,
bars. You gotta
rewind the whole thing.
Rewind whatever he just said.
He's
that
dropping
was ridiculous.
crazy amount of double entendres on top of
For real.
Who do y'all pick?
I'm not a big. That's not my genre.
I really like music that just like when I hear it, I'm like, what did he just say? Like, and then I listen to it again, and it's just like, how did you even come up with that?
Yeah, like where do you gotta sit?
And I feel like I have more of those moments with J. Cole.
Of course, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, well, how did he even piece?
Like with Drake, it's like, all right, you driving somewhere, you in Miami, you vibing, like you trying to vibe.
No, J. Cole, you gotta listen.
You gotta listen. Like you have to like stop doing things to actually listen to what he's saying.
No,
that's
for real.
So you would pick J. Cole.
Yeah, for real.
I respect it. And you don't really listen to
well,
like.
I mean, I guess I know more Drake songs, so I suppose Drake.
I guess Drake. Okay.
Yeah,
I feel that.
2 and 1 over here.
They're both number one too.
Yeah.
They're both number one for me.
Lovely. But before we close out, is there anything else you'd like to tell the future Youngnaires that are up and coming? Any words of encouragement that you would like to let them know before we head out of here?
I would have if I would just leave out one thing. If it doesn't inspire, like I said before, if it doesn't inspire you, just disconnect from it.
Yeah, disconnect.
Like, cause the thing is, like, cause when I first started, like when I made the 2000, my first trade, I came downstairs to my mom, like, yo, I just made 2000. So happy. And she was just like, oh, okay, that's good. Like, that's congrats. And I'm just like,
ain't that the worst?
I'm like, oh, she might say after 200. I was like, no, let me add the 0.
Right.
It's 2000 today, like in one day.
Right.
And she was just like, yeah, I heard you. I'm proud of you. But if I got straight A's, if I got, it would be like, we going out to Red Lobster, as many businesses as you want. I'm not going to limit you. Like, like that was the whole thing. But like with this, it was different because she didn't understand it.
Right.
But the thing is, you can't like, if you're an entrepreneur.
Get into it. We got to preach today.
Are you a good child?
No, I'm the bad one. She's the good one.
No. You're the good one? Y'all both bad?
It's our little brother. He's the golden child.
Yeah. Oh, he's the golden child. Okay, so y'all are going to be successful. He might have a little bit of a struggle. And the reason I say that, if you're a good child and you go by the book and you follow the rules and stuff like that, it's going to be very hard for you to be an entrepreneur. The only reason I say that,
get into that.
To be an entrepreneur, you have to go against the grain.
Yes.
And you can't just listen. You can't just, you have to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
You can't make your parents' decisions.
Yeah.
Because your parents might tell you like, oh, if you do this, like, you just listen.
Right.
Like, but you have to be able to make that decision for yourself. And most people don't know how to do that as a child.
For real. And then not only that, like your parents are only operating in
what they know.
Yes.
And things are completely different.
If they haven't taken the time to do the research and everything and learn everything that you're learning, they stopped growing mentally.
Yes.
So they can only show you what they know right now.
And then people are always so surprised when they're like, I'm turning into my mom. How did this happen?
Because you're only learning from your mom. You're only listening to one thing. Like, that's just how it works. I mean, you turn into what you tune into. Like, you constantly tune into your mom, you're going to turn into your mom eventually. But the one thing about me is I was stubborn. I always go against, I was getting in trouble in school, all that stuff. But I learned how to make my own decisions and when to do right, when to do wrong. Yeah. But you have to, if you're stubborn and you're a bad kid or you're a C kid or you're more likely going to be far. Because you're willing to go through. So you're willing to shake things up a little bit. You're willing to go against the grain. Right. You will do that. So if you're a good child, you're fine. But you have to make sure you have to go against the grain a little bit, and you have to give yourself grace when you do go against the grain.
Right. I love that. Thank you so much. Close it out fabulously. Like I ain't even have to do nothing. Love it. Thank you so much for being here, Sean. And one more time, just shout out your Instagram so the people know where to find you at. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and let them know where they can find you so they can start options trading right now.
So you can find me at CEO Ashon, CEO ASHON. Remember, I do a free class literally every single week where I teach you not only how to start trading options, but how I literally can make $1,000 in a day. And I'll show you how to do that step by step for free. No money, no nothing.
The gems. He's dropping all the gems. Y'all heard it here first, folks. And if you're a youngin' and you're struggling, it is time to get to hustling. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Youngnaires. Peace.